Good morning, student. In this lecture, we understand the next FACS device, which is called as TCSC. Full form is Thyristor Controlled Series Capacitor. So, first we understand what is the need of Thyristor Controlled Series Capacitor. So, the main aim of this Thyristor Controlled Series Capacitor is to improve the power transfer capability of the transmission line and to provide the voltage support at the load bus where the bus which is highly loaded, and because of that we require to maintain the voltage near to the per unit 1 per units or rated value. So in that condition we require the voltage compensation. Another requirement is that to improve the transient stability. So same like a SVC and Statecom, this TCSC also improve the transient stability of the system. And another function of TCSC is to work as a damp out the system oscillation, power oscillation during the fault condition. So this is the main requirement of the TCSC in the power system. So we first understand the basic principle of this TCSC FACS device and then different modes of operation. So first we understand the basic module of the TCSC controller. So you can see that the simple diagram of the TCSC, that is nothing but a fixed capacitor that is connected in series with the transmission line. In parallel with that we connect the thyristor control reactor. Here this is an inductor in series with the anti-parallel pair of the thyristor. So this combination that forms the thyristor control reactor. You already learned the thyristor control reactor. So understand how it works. By changing the firing angle control that controls the reactive power injection and absorption. Then here in parallel we connect the fixed capacitor. So this combination that inject or absorb the required amount of the reactive power into the system and increase the power transfer capability of the transmission line, or we can say that increase the line loading of the line as well as the improve the voltage regulation of the line. So this TCSC controller that work as a variable series capacitive reactance. Here we connect the fixed capacitor in series with the line, but by firing angle control of this anti-parallel pair of the thyristor, you can insert or disconnect this fixed capacitor in series with the line. Suppose that if you require to disconnect this fixed capacitor from the line, so fully on this thyristors, so the whole current is bypassed through this inductor and thyristor pair, and this series capacitor is come out of the circuits. So in that time your TCSC is work as a thyristor control reactor only, or we can say that at that time that only absorb the reactive power from the system. But if you require to inject the reactive power from the system, at that time open this thyristor control reactor block. It means remove all the gate pulses of the thyristor. So open this parallel branch by removing all the gate pulses of T1 and T2. So only capacitor is remained into the circuits. So whole line current is flowing through this capacitor and they inject the sufficient amount of the reactive power into the system to increase the power transfer as well as to maintain the voltage support in the line. So as we already studied in the conventional method of voltage control, so we know that we provide the series capacitor also, we provide the shunt capacitor also. So as compared to the shunt capacitor, the series capacitor economical as compared to the shunt capacitor. So for the same rating of the reactive power requirements, the shunt capacitor we require the 3 to 6 times more than the series capacitor size. So ultimately the cost of series capacitor is less as compared to the shunt capacitor. Now we see the practical module. So in the basic module we have only fixed capacitor in parallel with this inductor in series with the anti-parallel thyristor pair. But in the actual TCSC module we have a protective devices for the protection of this thyristor control series capacitor. So this protective device is nothing but this MOV that is called as metal oxide varistor. This is one type of non-linear resistor. Then this is a spark gap. This is a circuit breaker connected in parallel with the capacitor. And here this is a ultra high speed contact that is connected in parallel with the anti-parallel pair of the thyristors. So we understand one by one what is the function of all these protective devices in the thyristor control series capacitor. So first MOV, this is a metal oxide varistor, which is a one type of non-linear resistor. It means that as the voltage across this MOVs increases, at that time the resistance of this MOV decreases, so that reduce the voltage stress across this MOV. So you can see that here MOV that is connected in parallel with the capacitor. So during the fold condition, when the voltage across this capacitor becomes very high, at that time same voltage come across the MOV, but as per the characteristic of the MOV, non-linear resistance characteristic, as the voltage across the MOV increases, resistance is decreases. So ultimately the voltage stress across the MOV as well as capacitor is reduces. So the main function of the MOV is to prevent the occurrence of high capacitor voltage during the fold condition. Second aim of the MOV is to improve the transient stability of the power system. So when fold happens, whole voltage across the capacitor that come across the MOV, so that reduce the voltage stress and then improve the transient stability of the power system. Second, spark gap G, this one. So the function of the spark gap is to divert the transient over voltage safely to the earth without affecting the capacitor. So during the connection or disconnection of this capacitor into the line, that create the transient over voltage. So to protect this capacitor against this transient over voltage, we provided this spark gap. So when transient voltage happens, whole current is diverted through this spark gap, and that protect the capacitor against this transient over voltage during connection or disconnection of the capacitor into the line. That type of transient over voltage is created. So this spark gap is provide the protection against the transient over voltage. Then circuit breaker, that is used to control the insertion in the line, also that is used to bypass during the fold condition. So the function of this circuit breaker is what? That is used to disconnect this capacitor during the fold condition, as well as that insert this capacitor after the fold, so that you can provide the transient stability to the system. So the function of circuit breaker is insertion as well as disconnection of this capacitor into the line. So you can read this: circuit breaker control the insertion in the line. So during this fold, this circuit breaker disconnect the capacitor and bypass the current. So during the fold condition, whole current is flowing through the circuit breaker and bypass the circuit breaker. And when fold is clear, at that time this circuit breaker contact opens and again reinsert this capacitor into series with the line. So after the fold, the line current is normally flow through this series capacitor. So the function of series capacitor is to insert or disconnect this capacitor in series with the line. Then this ultra high speed contacts, you can see that is connected in parallel with the anti-parallel connection of the thyristor. So what is the function of this thyristor control reactor? Thyristor control reactor, this is nothing but combination of LS in series with the parallel anti-parallel connection of the thyristor. So during the high fold condition, we require to bypass this capacitor. So in that condition, the current is flowing through this thyristor control reactor. So when this two thyristor T1 and T2 conducting for the long duration of time, at that time the conduction losses happens, and if the duration of the conduction is very high, so at that time conduction losses becomes very high. So to reduce this conduction losses of T1 and T2, we provided the ultra high speed contact across this. So when this capacitor is bypassed by the thyristor control reactor and T1 T2 is on, at that time suddenly this ultra high speed contact is closed, so whole current is diverted through this ultra high speed contact switch, so that we can reduce the conduction losses of T1 and T2. So ultra high speed contact is used generally when this thyristor control reactor is operate for the long duration period, so that we can reduce the conduction losses happens in the T1 and T2 thyristor. Because this is a metallic contact, ultra high speed contact, which is a metallic contact. So when it is bypassed, so current is flowing through this metallic contact, and during this condition the losses are less, conduction losses are less as compared to the losses happens when current is flowing through this anti-parallel pair of the thyristor. So the function of UHSC is to minimize the conduction losses. So in the actual practical module of the TCSC, there are number of small TCSC modules are connected in series. You can see that this is the one TCSC modules, this is the second, that is the third. So n number of TCSC modules are connected, and that forms the large TCSC modules. And here you can see that we provided the inductor at both the side of the pair of the thyristors. So the aim of this two inductor is to limit the fold current or to limit the capacitive current during the bypassing of the capacitor. So when this capacitor is bypassed, by this thyristor control reactor, at that time this capacitor is discharged through this inductor. So once this capacitor is fully charged and you bypass this capacitor, so a large amount of the capacitor current is flowing through these inductors. So to limit this capacitive current, we require this inductor in series with this thyristor pair. So the function of this inductor at both the sides is to limit the discharging capacitive current during the bypassing of the capacitor. And the second function of this thyristor control reactor with inductor is to provide the inductive reactive power during the requirement when voltage at the bus becomes more than the rated voltage. It will increase the impedance of the line. Now we understand the operation of thyristor control series capacitor. So you can see that actually the TCSC that is work as a fixed capacitor connected in parallel with the variable inductors. So this variable inductor that represents the thyristor control reactor, because by changing the firing angle control of this thyristor you can vary the inductor value. So ultimately your inductor work as a variable inductor, in parallel with we connect the fixed capacitor. So electrical equivalent circuit of TCSC is just like a fixed capacitor in parallel with the variable inductor. So with this combination, your equivalent impedance is becomes J1 upon omega C, which is the capacitive impedance, J omega L, that is a inductive impedance. So parallel combination, your equivalent impedance becomes minus J1 upon omega C minus 1 upon omega L. So when this omega C minus 1 upon omega L, this denominator, that becomes more than 0. In other words, we can say that omega L is greater than 1 upon omega C. It means that inductive impedance which is more than the capacitive impedance. So in this case, this combination which provides a variable capacitive reactance, and because of this inductor, the equivalent capacitive impedance or capacitive reactance of this LC combination that becomes more than the fixed capacitor. So by connecting this inductor in parallel with the fixed capacitor, you can inject the reactive power more than the reactive power injected by the fixed capacitor, because here parallel combination that increases the equivalent impedance more than the fixed capacitive impedance. So next condition, when omega C minus 1 upon omega L becomes 0, it means when this denominator becomes 0, so at that time what will happen? Your impedance becomes infinite. Your capacitor impedance becomes infinite, and that develop the resonance condition, and this is the unacceptable condition for the system. So this type of condition is not permitted in the TCSC operation. So during the TCSC operation, we avoid this condition by the firing angle control of the thyristor, because in this condition resonance is developed, and because of the resonance that affect the stability of the power system. So this is the unacceptable condition. The next condition is when omega C minus 1 upon omega L less than 0. So in this condition, this LC combination that provide the inductance above the value of fixed inductor. That is exactly opposite to this first condition. When omega C minus 1 upon omega L greater than 0, in this condition, your equivalent capacitive impedance that becomes more than the fixed impedance or fixed capacitive impedance. So that provides a more capacitive reactive power as compared to the fixed capacitor. Exactly opposite in this condition, omega C minus 1 upon omega L less than 0, this LC combination, parallel LC combination, that provides the impedance more than the impedance provided by the fixed inductor. So this combination provides the inductance above the value of fixed inductor. So in this situation correspond to the inductive mode of the TCSC operation. So this situation that TCSC work as a inductive Vernier mode of operation. In the variable capacitive mode of TCSC, it means in the first case here omega c minus 1 upon omega L greater than 0. In this condition, the inductive reactance of the variable reactance that is increased, the equivalent capacitive reactance is gradually decreases. So as you can see that as omega L is increases, what will happen? Inductive reactance of inductor increases, 1 upon omega L that is decreases. So as this part is decreases, it means that the denominator that will increases. So omega c minus 1 upon omega L that will increases. So overall equivalent impedance that will decreases. So it means that your total capacitive impedance that will reduces. So it means that as the inductive reactance of the inductor is increases, the overall equivalent capacitive impedance that will reduces into the system. So you can read this here. In the variable capacitive mode of TCSC, as the inductive reactance of the variable reactance is increased, the equivalent capacitive reactance is gradually decreased. That is only in the first condition here, when omega c minus 1 upon omega L which is greater than 0. In this condition only, when inductor is increases, inductive reactance is increases, the equivalent capacitive reactance is decreases. So the minimum equivalent capacitive reactance you obtain, that is for extremely large inductive reactance case. So in that case, you open the inductor. So in that case, you get the minimum value of the equivalent capacitive reactance. And the value of this minimum equivalent capacitive reactance is that is equal to fixed capacitor. So if you open this inductor, it means that this 1 upon omega L part that is 0. So ultimately you get the only this part minus j 1 upon omega c. So you get ultimately equivalent impedance is equal to impedance of fixed capacitor. So that is the minimum equivalent impedance you get in the circuit in this condition. Then we understand the mode of operation of TCSC. So in this first mode, which is called as the bypass thyristor mode. So the name itself says that in this case we bypass the series capacitor by using the thyristor pair. So that's why it is called as the bypass thyristor mode. So in this mode, the thyristors are fully conduct with the conduction angle of 180 degree. So in this case, the gate pulses are applied as soon as when the voltage across the thyristor that reaches to the 0 value and that becomes positive. So resulting is that continuous sinusoidal flow of current through the thyristor pulse. So in this mode of operation, you provide the firing angle when the voltage across the thyristor becomes 0 and after that becomes positive. So that these thyristors are fully conduct for 180 degree. So whole current is bypassed through this thyristor pair and current flowing through this series capacitor become almost 0. So in this mode, this TCSC modules behaves like a parallel capacitor inductor combinations, because by complete conduction of this thyristor, this whole inductor will come into picture. So that is act as a fixed inductor, and here this is a fixed capacitor. So this mode behaves like a parallel capacitor inductor combinations. Now in this mode, the inductor is not act as a variable inductor because the firing angle is provided such a way that the conduction of this thyristor is for fully 180 degree. So in this case, full inductor coming to the circuits. So that is work as a fixed capacitor. So this mode is employed for the control purpose and also for initiating the certain protective functions. So as we know that when we bypass this capacitor, so only in the fault condition, only in the severe fault condition, we bypass this capacitor and we turn on this thyristor pair for the full conduction, so that whole fault current is bypassed through this thyristor control reactor, and that save this fixed capacitor against the severe fault. So during the fault condition, we require this mode of operation, which is called as bypass thyristor mode. So whenever TCSC module is bypassed from the violation of the current limit, it means during the full condition when the current limit is bypassed, in that case, finite time delay that is provided before the module is reinserted after the line fault current fall below the specific limit. So when this bypass mode is operated, so in the TCSC FACS device, the current limit is set. If the current flowing through this capacitor goes above the current value limit, in that case, this mode of operation come into picture and bypass the capacitor. But when the current again reach to the normal value, so after some time delay, after some finite time delay, this module is reinserted into the line. When this current flowing into this line becomes below the specific limit or below the current limit. So by this way we can disconnect or insert the capacitor during the fault conditions. Next, that is a block thyristor mode. In this mode you can see that whole line current is flowing through this series capacitor. So in this case the firing pulses provided to the thyristors are completely blocked. It means we not provide any gate pulse to the thyristor. So this parallel branch is act as an open circuit. So there is no current flowing in through this parallel branch. So in that case only fixed capacitor come into series with the line. So whole current is flowing through this series capacitor. That's why it is called as a block thyristor mode. Because in this mode of operation we completely block this thyristor by removing the firing pulses. So if the thyristors are conducting and blocking command is given, the thyristors are turned off as soon as current through the reaches to the zero crossing. So when blocking command is come from the control block of the TCSC modules, so this control command remove all the gate pulses of the thyristors, and these thyristors are becomes off when current flowing through this thyristor becomes zero. At that time whole current is passing through this series capacitor. So the TCSC modules in this mode that is work as a fixed series capacitor, and your net TCSC reactance becomes totally capacitive because only capacitor is in the picture. So in this mode your TCSC work as a fixed capacitor connected in series with the line. So that is the normal condition when we require the reactive power injection to increase the power transfer capability of the transmission line. So in this case we operate the TCSC in the block thyristor mode. The next mode of TCSC, that is a partially conducting thyristor mode. In this partially conducting thyristor mode there are two modes of operation. One is capacitor vernier mode and another is a inductive vernier mode. So in this capacitive vernier mode the thyristors are fired when the capacitor voltage and capacitor current has opposite polarity. It means if capacitor voltage is negative and at the same time capacitor voltage is positive, at that time we fire these thyristors so that we can get the capacitive vernier mode. And this condition cause the thyristor control reactor current that has a direction which is opposite to the capacitor current. So the capacitor current direction is what? In this one. So in this mode of the thyristor control reactor current that has a direction opposite to the capacitor current, and resulting loop current is flowing in this TCSC controller. So this loop current that increases the voltage across this fixed capacitor and that effectively enhancing the equivalent capacitive reactance and the series compensation level for the same value of the line current. So in this mode of operation the thyristor control reactor current and the capacitor current are opposite, so that creates the loop current, and this loop current that increases the voltage across the fixed capacitor and that equivalent capacitive reactance increases so that the compensation level is increases. So that's why this is called as the capacitive vernier mode, because in this case your total equivalent impedance becomes capacitive mode. Next, in this mode of TCSC, which is a inductive vernier mode, which is a sub part of this partially conducting thyristor mode, because in this case both this mode, capacitive vernier mode and inductive vernier mode, your thyristors are partially conducting, not fully conducting like this first mode, you can see that in the first mode thyristors are fully conducting. So this is a full conduction mode of thyristor. But in this partially conducting thyristor mode, both the cases inductive and capacitive Vernier mode, your thyristors are conducting for a short duration time, that is between 0 to 180 degree. So in this mode, TCSC can be operated by having a high level of thyristor conduction. So in this mode, thyristor conducts more than the thyristor conduct in the capacitive Vernier mode. So in this case, the direction of the circulating current is reverse. You can see that the direction of the circulating current in the capacitive mode, that is clockwise, but in the inductive Vernier mode, that is anti-clockwise. So the direction of circulating current is reverse, and the controller that present the net inductive reactance, so that we can say that the operation of TCSC in the inductive Vernier mode. So in this mode, in short, we can say that your TCSC worked as a inductive impedance. In the capacitive Vernier mode, your TCSC work as a capacitive impedance. That is the difference between capacitive and inductive Vernier mode. So this is a different mode of operation of TCSC. So let's revise this. First mode is bypass thyristor mode, in which we bypass the capacitor through this thyristor pair. Then second, that is a block thyristor mode. This is the normal condition when we require the full compensation. So we bypass this thyristor by removing the all the gate pulses. And third is the partially conducting thyristor mode, which has two parts. One is capacitive Vernier mode and another is the inductive Vernier mode. So in both the cases, thyristors are partially conducting, but in this capacitor Vernier mode, the conduction of the thyristors are less as compared to the inductive Vernier mode, so that the direction of the current, loop current, is clockwise in such a way that voltage across this capacitor increases. So ultimately the equivalent capacitive reactance is increases. So this case or this mode, the TCSC work as a capacitive Vernier mode. And exactly opposite, in this case your thyristors are conducting more than 90 degree interval, so the circulating current becomes anti-clockwise and your overall impedance becomes inductive. So it's called as an inductive Vernier mode of TCSC operation. Now next we understand what is the advantages of TCSC. So the main advantages of the TCSC is that as compared to other FACS device, that provides the rapid and continuous control of the transmission line series compensation level from fully inductive to the fully capacitive. So it means that provide the fast control of reactive power. Second advantage, that they provide the dynamic control of power flow in a selected transmission line within the network to enable the optimal power flow condition and to prevent the loop flow of power. So second advantage of the TCSC is that provide the dynamic control of the power flow by injection or absorption of the reactive power, and that also increases the power level to the optimal level, so we can maximum utilize the transmission line and increase the power transfer whenever we require. Third advantage, that damping of the power swing from local and inter-area oscillation. So as we know that because of the power oscillations, the stability of the power system that is affected. So in that case, if we use the TCSC, so that TCSC damp out all power oscillation or power swings and then maintain the system into the stable modes. So that point we discuss later on during the power oscillation, how this TCSC that damp out this oscillation and provide the stability into the system. Then second advantage, this suppression of the subsynchronous oscillation. So at subsynchronous frequency, the TCSC presents the inherently resistive inductive reactance. So in that case, subsynchronous oscillation, if TCSC is connected, then we can reduce this subsynchronous oscillation, because this subsynchronous oscillation cannot be sustained in this situation when TCSC provides the inherently resistive inductive reactance. So your subsynchronous oscillation is damped out if you connect the TCSC. Then next advantage, that decreasing the DC offset voltage by the TCSC. So the DC offset voltage that is resulting from the insertion of the series capacitor and that can be reduced very quickly from firing angle control of the TS thyristor control series capacitor thyristors. So this DC offset voltage that is created by the series capacitor connected in series with the line. So to remove this DC offset voltage or to reduce this DC offset voltage, if you provide the firing angle by firing angle control of this thyristor control series capacitor, we can reduce this DC offset from the system. So this is the next advantage. Another advantage that enhance the level of protection for series capacitor. So fast bypass of the series capacitor that is achieved by the thyristor control when large over voltage develop across the capacitor after the faults. So likewise that capacitor also can be reinserted into the system by thyristor control actions when fault is clear. For the system stabilization, we require the fixed capacitor in series with the line. So once the fault is clear, we can quickly reinsert this capacitor by the thyristor actions for the stabilization of the system. So you can see that by this thyristor and firing angle control, we can insert or disconnect this series capacitor whenever we require in a very fast manner. So this is the advantage of using the TCSC in the transmission line. The next advantage is the voltage support. So as we know that by the reactive power injection and absorption, the thyristor control series capacitor that provide the voltage support. So in the conjunction with the series capacitor, we can generate the reactive power and that increases the line loading. The line loading that is nothing but increase the active power transfer of the line, and thereby we improve the regulation of the network voltage. It means we can improve the regulation near to the rated voltage so that we can maintain the voltage stability and avoid the voltage instability of the power system. So by this way TCSC improve the voltage support and maintain the system in a voltage stable mode. The last advantage that reduction of the short circuit current during the event of high short circuit current, the TCSC can switch from the control capacitance to controllable inductance mode and thereby restricting the short circuit currents. So as you can see in the circuit diagram of the TCSC, when high value of fault current is passing through the network and by the thyristor control, if you bypass this capacitor, so whole amount of the current is flowing through this inductor in series with the anti-parallel pair of the thyristor. So because of this inductor, the high amount of the fault current that is restricted because the inductor property is what oppose the rate of change of current. So when high amount of the current is flowing during the fault condition, by the firing angle control of this thyristor, we bypass through this inductor, so we can reduce the fault current level and avoid the damage of this capacitor against this high severe fault current. So by this way we can provide the protection to the series capacitor in the thyristor control series capacitor. So these are the all advantages of using the TCSC in the power system. I hope you have understand and why we require the TCSC.